This is the Cessna 414 Chancellor, the last of the pressurized, piston, 400 series airplanes Cessna developed. Combining spacious cabins and relatively small, efficient engines, the 414 series can carry lots of fuel or a small crowd with their belongings. Also, the big Cessnas have safety records that are unmatched by any other light twin. Throughout its production run, which lasted until 1985, the Cessna 414 Chancellor remained a popular choice among business travelers and private pilots who required a reliable, comfortable, and efficient aircraft. It bridged the gap between smaller piston twins and larger turboprops, offering a balance of performance and cost that was particularly appealing in the general aviation market. The legacy of the Cessna 414 Chancellor continues to be felt today, as many of these aircraft remain in service, prized for their durability, ease of operation, and comfortable cabins. Stay with us till the end of the video because here is everything you need to know about the Cessna 414 Chancellor. Stepping inside, one of the most appealing aspects is its size and configuration flexibility. The cabin typically accommodates up to 8 passengers, with a standard layout featuring a club seating arrangement at the core flanked by individual seats. The big cabin, wider than it is tall, makes for comfortable seating, and copious baggage space is the 414's forte. The interior dimensions are generous for a light twin, with the cabin measuring approximately 51 inches or 1.28 meters in height and 55 inches or 1.38 meters in width. The length of the cabin is about 8.7 feet or 2.65 meters, offering ample legroom and headroom. There's enough room in the aft cabin, and the nose and wing lockers can hold 930 pounds or 420 kilograms of baggage. With its bigger nose and lockers, the 414A can carry 1,500 pounds or 680 kilograms. Loading must be watched carefully to avoid going out of the rear CG limit. The nose baggage compartment of the 414A made CG juggling easier. A 414 appears to be a good choice for anyone who wants a pressurized airplane with a big cabin and lots of baggage space. Compared to its biggest competitors, the 421 and Duke, a 414 provides more room than the Duke as much as the 421 travels a little slower but does so more economically. Soundproofing has been a focus, with later models incorporating advanced materials and technologies to reduce cabin noise. It's a reasonably peaceful environment, one of the quietest you'll find in a piston twin. Conversations barely above a whisper are easily audible. There's little vibration transmitted through the fuselage, and the chairs articulate in all the proper directions. Additionally, the airplane takes turbulence well, with a high wing loading of nearly 30 pounds per square foot. The environmental control system is another point of merit, as the cabin features a robust heating and air conditioning system that ensures comfort across a wide range of external conditions. The attention to detail in the cabin's aesthetic and functional elements, such as plush upholstery, refined wood accents, and accessible in-flight entertainment systems, aligns with expectations for aircraft in this category. These touches, while seemingly minor, do play a significant role in defining the overall passenger experience, making the 414 a popular choice among discerning private owners and charter services alike. Now, let's step into the cockpit. The front office is easily accessible and well laid out, with everything logically oriented in a left-right format. Engine start is about as simple as it gets. Full rich, mags master, prime starter. The Chancellor comes off the blocks with minimum breakaway power, and differential thrust is rarely necessary for directional control unless you're trying to maneuver in a confined space. In its original configuration, the cockpit was equipped with what was then considered state-of-the-art technology, but by today's standards, these early analog gauges and basic navigational tools might seem rudimentary. Commonly, the original setup included standard flight instruments, such as an airspeed indicator, altimeter, and vertical speed indicator, alongside basic navigation aids like VOR DME systems and ADF receivers, all arranged for optimal visibility and accessibility. Owner pilots give high marks to cockpit room and layout of systems controls, and enthuse about handling characteristics. The 414 and 414A share the distinctive silky smooth control response of the other 400 series Cessnas. They are the Cadillacs of the piston line, with attention having been paid to detail. Even on an airplane of this vintage, Only slight trim changes are needed when flaps or landing gear are reconfigured. Although single-engine handling, as with any piston twin, is demanding and requires regular practice. Pressurization differential is an impressive 5.0 psi on the later 414s, generating a comfortable 8,000-foot cabin at 25,000 feet. In fact, however, the 414 is most often operated in the low flight levels, flight level 180 to flight level 220. It's most comfortable at those heights and will still turn in the magic 200 knots. Pressurization has always been the ultimate luxury, one of those systems like air conditioning in cars that seems almost mandatory. It's also important to remember that even 18,000 feet without oxygen masks is a major victory for pilots and passengers. Modernized Cessna 414s often feature a retrofit with more advanced avionics. A popular upgrade is the Garmin G500 or G600 glass cockpit systems, which transform the aircraft's capabilities with integrated flight instruments, synthetic vision, and multi-function display capabilities. The Garmin GTN 750 and GTN 650 GPS/nav/com multifunction displays are another frequent addition, offering touchscreen controls with intuitive interfaces, detailed graphical flight planning, and high-resolution terrain mapping. These units integrate seamlessly with the Garmin flight displays and provide advanced features like WAAS-enabled GPS for enhanced precision in positioning and landing approaches, as well as real-time weather information and traffic updates. Autopilot systems such as the Bendix King KFC 200 or the more recent Garmin GFC 600 offer significant improvements in flight stability and efficiency. These systems provide features such as altitude pre-select, vertical speed control, and approach coupling, greatly enhancing the safety and ease of operations. Now let's talk about the engine, performance specifications, and how it flies. The Cessna 414 is powered by twin Continental TSIO 500N engines with a TBO of 1,600 hours, each producing 310 horsepower. These engines are air-cooled, turbocharged, and fuel-injected, contributing significantly to the 414's reliable operational profile and efficiency in various flight conditions. The aircraft requires 2,350 feet, or 715 meters of runway to take off at sea level on a standard day, and has a maximum net payload of 930 pounds, or 420 kilograms. Climb isn't in the Apollo class, but the airplane does very well once it's sped up and cleaned up. Count on an easy 1,200 to 1,300 feet per minute to 15,000 feet, and 1,000 feet per minute on up to 20,000 feet. With the strong pressurization system cranked up to max, there's not much reason to level lower than about 16,500 to 17,500 if you prefer VFR, or flight level 180 to flight level 200 if you're filed IFR. Cruise performance may not be quite what you expect from the manual, but most Chancellor owners are content with the airplane's cross-country speed. The airplane is good for a solid 200 knots up high, 180 to 185 knots down low. A perfectly rigged and tuned Chancellor might touch 215 knots at 24,000 feet, but that's probably the realistic limit. The plane has a maximum ceiling of 30,800 feet or 9,400 meters. Expect to see speeds in the 190 knot range, burning 32 to 34 gallons per hour at 65% power. You can crack 200 plus knots, 205 generally, at 38 gallons per hour at 75% power rich of peak EGT, although few operate that way anymore. 37 to 38 gallons per hour is the minimum at cruise, so the standard 213-gallon fuel system provides about 4.5 hours endurance plus reserve. Even at 190 knots, that's adequate for 850 nautical miles between fuel and food stops. And finally, the aircraft has a maximum range of 1,330 nautical miles, which is 1,530 miles or 2,460 kilometers, and a minimum landing distance of 1,850 feet or 565 meters. Now let's talk about the price and cost. The purchase price for a used Cessna 414 is $200,000 to $500,000. And while the annual fixed cost is estimated at $40,000 to $60,000, the average hourly operating cost is estimated at $400 to $600. Thank you for staying with us till the end. Here are 2 videos you can watch next. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.